Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Whisper, and today what I have for you is another story video, but before we get into the story video, I really want to start off on a little bit of a serious note. The 28th of August, as in Sunday, I uploaded a video talking about a kid who cried in the lunch line because he couldn't get a drink, and I was really unaware of the circumstances, and I uploaded that video not really thinking too much of it, and one of the people who watches my videos who goes to my school told me that the given circumstances was that this kid had a mental disorder of some sort and his brain couldn't process 100% properly, and I immediately took down that video, and I really want to apologize. I didn't really make fun of the kid, I just thought it was kind of weird, and I tried not to. I didn't like roast him or call him stupid or idiotic or any of that type of deal. I just feel like bad that I uploaded that video and then found out that he did have a mental disorder. It's kind of just messed up to me to make a video making fun of someone with a mental disorder, and like I said, I wouldn't say I really made fun of him, I just made a story because I thought it was kind of funny and kind of weird. But I really do apologize for those of you who saw the video, and I really do mean that I feel really bad for uploading that video, and I immediately took it down, and I'm already working on this video to try and get another video out because it's been about 4 days. School has just been taking up a lot of time, so I really do wholeheartedly apologize for that video, and hope you guys stick around, and yeah, so let's go ahead and just get back into the story now. Let's move off of the serious note. So now that we've gotten that serious note out of the way, let's go ahead and get on with the story. So, when I was in elementary school, I went to a school, and I'm not going to name or specify it, but it had a pretty big playground, and we had, like, a lot of classes. Like, a lot of people went to that school. I don't know how many. It was K through 8, like kindergarten through 8th grade, and I grew up knowing this guy, and his name, we'll go ahead and call him, like, Winston. I knew this guy named Winston, and everybody knew this guy named Winston. Winston was kind of an oddball. Everybody kind of knew him to be an oddball, but nothing was ever wrong with him. People would commonly ask him, you know, if he had like some type of mental disorder or anything like that, and it wasn't that. He was just really, I guess, raised in a different way. He was raised in a different way compared to all of us, and he had very interesting hobbies and stuff like that. He was really smart. He was just really weird sometimes. Like, I guess it was just, I think it was because of the way he was raised and how his family raised him. Like, for example, one time he tried to like straight up cut math class like he tried to cut math class like 5 days in a row because we had math class first. Him and I had math class together, and he tried to cut like math class like 5 days in a row because he didn't like the teacher. So what he'd do is he'd show up after the first period after math and just go through all the rest of his classes and just wouldn't show up until after first period. So he did some weird stuff, and I think it was because he didn't like the teacher, but like that still doesn't really warrant not showing up to class, to a particular class. But that's the type of thing that he would do, but this was way before that actually. So like I said, Winston is really weird, and I actually ran into him a couple years ago, and he seemed like he was alright. He was doing well. He seemed like he was, you know, himself. But back in elementary school, we kind of had this weird, like, situation happen, and I don't really know how to feel about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this just because it's kind of fucking really weird to me. So, back when I was in, like, 4th or 5th grade, I was, like, friends with Winston. Winston and I were, like, cool. Him and I hung out, him and I played video games. Back then I was living like pretty far away from town, so him and I didn't get a chance to like play video games together. I never went over to his house really. Him and I just talked about video games at school and stuff like that. But Winston and I were hanging out over, you know, the span of a couple days, just hanging out at lunch talking about the situation, and one day we were hanging out at the slide, and I went down the slide and I was lying at the bottom of the slide, and he was like, yo, close your eyes, and I was like, what? And he was just like, just close your eyes, just don't worry about it. And I was just like, oh, alright, because I did trust him, even though I hadn't really been talking with him for too long. Him and I had known each other for a good amount of time, but him and I had never really hung out. So I was just like, alright, I'll close my eyes. So I closed my eyes. So then I kind of feel this like weird sensation, and I feel like I got spat on my lips. And he just like straight up like tried to kiss me or something like that. I didn't feel like his lips touched mine or anything like that. Keep in mind, this is like back in 4th grade. But I just felt like I got spit on my mouth, so I just immediately rubbed my mouth, like wiped my mouth off, and then immediately just looked up at him and was like, "What are you doing?" And he was just like, I like kissed you," was what he said to me, and I was just like, "No." He did, like, I don't really remember the exact events because this was like forever ago, but I do remember he was just like, he tried to kiss me and instead he spat on me because he couldn't take it seriously. And it wasn't like just like he just straight up like got a mouthful of saliva and then just spat on me. It was just like a like that type of thing was how it felt, like saliva coming off your lips when you like bump them together like that. I don't know how to explain it. But I immediately took off because I was like, nope, not having any of that shit. And I don't really know. I just kind of stopped hanging out with Winston after that. But it surfaced a couple days later, and I was telling people about this because I didn't want, you know, everybody to just go hang out with him and him to start like trying to kiss people randomly because it was so weird to me. And I didn't really know what to think of the entire situation. Like, it was just super weird for me. And later it ended up getting to the extent where like I was called into Winston's teacher's room because back then we only had one teacher. We didn't have like multiple teachers. It wasn't until like middle school where we had multiple teachers. And the teacher like asked me about the entire situation, and I just told him I have no idea, just because I didn't want to be a part of the entire drama of the entire thing because everybody was making a big deal out of it. I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna hang out with Winston anymore, and that's about it. But everybody else was making like a huge deal about it, and it started like going around the school, and it became like this huge rumor. And I was just like, I don't really care. I just don't want to hang out with Winston anymore. And that's pretty much the end of the story. After that, nothing else really happened. Winston and I really didn't talk too much. We did, you know, hang out a couple times after that, but it wasn't anything, you know, super, you know, close. Like, him and I just like talked every once in a while, or we worked on a project together, and that was about it. Winston and I haven't seen Winston since like 8th grade. I saw him like once in 10th grade when I was like at the mall, and him and I had a very short conversation. He seems really nice. He seems like he's grown up and matured a lot. But I was just always kind of baffled by that entire situation that happened. But I thought you guys would enjoy this video. I thought you guys would enjoy this story. My name is Whisper, and I'm out. Peace.